Okay, this is Chapter 5 Math Review. On this video, we are going to do some practice problems about fraction operations. Everything that is going to be on the test tomorrow, we're going to go over. So if you understand everything today on this review, you will do well on the test tomorrow. So what you need to do on this review is I'm going to give you the problem, then I'm going to ask you to pause and solve, so you're going to solve it, and then you can check it with me, and I want you to go back and any mistakes that you make, fix them on your work, and I'm going to ask that when you get to class tomorrow. So here's the first problem. So if there are 50 students in class and we are going to do a holiday party, and I'm going to give out candy canes and pencils to each student, one candy cane and one pencil for each student. And candy canes come in packs of 10, and holiday pencils come in packs of 25. My question is, if I want to buy one for each student, how many bags of candy canes, how many packs of candy canes do I need to get, and how many packs of holiday pencils? This is just like problem 1 and 2 on the test tomorrow. So, I'm going to repeat the question. If there are 50 students, and I want each of them to get a candy cane and each of them to get a pencil, how many packs of candy canes and how many packs of pencils do they need? Pause, solve. Okay, so all you have to do is look at, this is a pretty simple problem actually, just look at how many come in a pack for candy canes, and there are 10 in each pack of candy cane. So how many packs would I need to buy for 50 students? So I would just do 50 divided by 10, and that would be 5 packs of candy canes. And holiday pencil comes in packs of 25, so I would need to buy 2 packs to get to 50. So 2 packs pencils. That's all there is for that problem. So if you make a mistake on any of these problems, go back, check your work, and redo it. Alright, second question. Least common multiple question. Find the least common multiple of 8 and 12. Pause and solve. Alright, so least common multiple, remember, means the lowest number that you can, that is a multiple of both of those. So the best way to do this, if you remember the steps, the first thing you should do is look, does 8 go into 12? And it doesn't. So 12 is not the least common multiple. But then what you do is you start with the bigger number, and let's count up and think about numbers. 12. So 8 does not go into 12, right? So it's not 12. What's the next one of 12? 24. Does 8 go into 24? And the answer to that is yes. So that's the lowest number that you can multiply both of those numbers and get to. So that is the least common multiple. So 24 is the least common multiple of 8 and 12. I'm going to give you one more least common multiple practice. On this one, there's 3 numbers. So find the least common multiple of 3, 6, and 5. Pause and solve. Okay, so the first thing we should do is look and see if they all go into the biggest number. Now 3 goes into 6, but 5 does not go into 6. So that means that we're going to have to do the other method. So let's start with the biggest number and count up. 6, we just said, doesn't work. 12 is the next number. Does 5 go into 12? No, it does not. Then it's 18. 5 does not go into 18. 24. 5 doesn't go into 24. 30. Well, 5 does go into 30. And 3 also goes into 30. So the least common multiple is 30. So that's how you do least common multiple. Always check, though, and I'm going to give you a quick example. Always check if you have numbers, like for example 5, 10, and 20. We could find multiples of all of them, but look, the biggest number is 20. 5 goes into 20, and 10 goes into 20, and 20 times 1 is 20, so the least common multiple would be 20. So that's why we always look first to see if the smaller numbers go into the bigger number. So that's an example of that. Alright, the next thing I want to work on is adding fractions. First thing I want you to do 1/8 plus 5/8. Pause and solve. Okay, now since the denominators are the same, that means they're broken into the same size pieces, so all we have to do is add across from on the top. 6 plus 5, or 1 plus 5 is 6, and we're going to keep the bottoms the same because they are 8. We do not add 8 plus 8. The bottom only means, all that means is what size the pieces are. So our answer is 6/8, but that is not simplified because both numbers are even. So what we need to do is take 6 divided by 2 and 8 divided by 2, and we'll get 3/4. So 3/4 is our answer. Now, here's another problem adding fractions. And remember, you can't just add the bottoms. The bottoms have to be the same. That's my hint. So pause and solve. Okay, so I'm going to look at the bottoms. There's no easy number that they both go into, so I'm going to do 15 for the bottom because 3 times 5 is 15. So I'm going to do times 5, and then I'm going to do times 5 because I want to make the bottoms into 15 because that's the least common multiple of 3 and 5. And then whatever I do to the bottom to get to 15, 3 times 5 is 15, I have to do to the top. So 2 times 5 is 10. Then, how do I get from 5 to 15? I do 5 times 3, so if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So that's 3/15. Then I'm going to add, and it's going to be 13/15, and that's my answer. Another example is 1/3 plus 1/6. Pause and solve. Okay, so look at the bottoms. The least common denominator would be 6 because 3 goes into 6. So I'm gonna leave that 6 the same. So I'm gonna leave 1/6, and I'm gonna make this one into 6. And what I need to do is do 3 times 2. So if I do it to the bottom, I have to do it to the top. So 2/6 plus 1/6, and that equals 3/6. But I hope you know that 3/6 is not my answer, because I can divide the top and the bottom by 3, and that leaves me with 1/2. And I'm not going to do any normal subtracting fractions because it's the same exact rule except for you just subtract. I'm going to go into a little bit more difficult subtraction. So the next problem that I would like you to do is 5 minus 3/5. Pause and solve. Okay, so what we're going to need to do here is there's no fraction here. What we're going to do is we're going to borrow. So this is already in fifths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow from the 5 and make it into a 4. And then, since this fraction is in fifths, I'm going to add a whole in fifths. And 5/5 is equal to 1. So I'm going to make it 4 and 5/5. And that's the same as 5, because 4 plus 5/5 is 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So it's just like when you borrow on a normal subtraction problem. So then you can do 5 minus 3 is 2/5, and then what you have left is 4, so the answer is 4 and 2/5. Okay, let's do another one.